Good morning, class ninth. Welcome to bio class. Let's start with the next cell organelle, that is ribosomes. So children, you have already studied about many cell organelles. You can watch those videos, and those cell organelles were Golgi body, mitochondria, chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus. And now I'm going to start with ribosomes. First of all, you should know about the location of ribosomes. Ribosomes are scattered in the cell cytoplasm, or they may be present on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum. And you have studied that the endoplasmic reticulum having ribosomes on their surface are called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So children, now you have studied about the location of ribosomes. Along with this, they are present in both eukaryotic as well as prokaryotic cells. This means that they are present in every cell, like in bacterial cell also, or they may be present in animals as well as plant cell. Now moving on to the next slide, let us study about the structure of ribosomes. The first and the most important thing about the structure of ribosomes is that they are not surrounded by any membrane. This means they are membrane-less structures. Along with this, ribosomes are made up of two subunits. The two subunits, one is the large subunits and the other one is the smaller subunit. You can take a view here. This one is the large subunit and this one is the smaller subunit. This and this one. Now also there are two types of ribosomes. The two types of ribosomes are 70S ribosome and 80S ribosome. This 70S ribosomes are present in prokaryotic cell like bacterial cell. Also, they are present inside mitochondrial matrix and the stroma of chloroplast. This 80S ribosome is present in eukaryotic cell. Now children, in the next slide, I will tell you about the subunits of the both type of ribosomes. Let's start. Suppose I am considering here about 70S ribosome. So in 70S ribosome there are two subunits. The first one is 50S, this is the larger subunit, and the other one is 30S, this is the smaller subunit. Now moving on to the 80S. 80S also has two subunits. The upper one, the larger one, is the 60S subunit, and the other one, 40S subunit, the smaller subunit. Now you must be thinking that what is S in this? Now children, please focus about the S. S is equal to Swedberg unit. SVEDBERG. This is Swedberg unit. This is the unit of sedimentation coefficient. Sedimentation coefficient. Now children, what is sedimentation coefficient? So let us proceed towards sedimentation coefficient. You might have studied about circular motion in physics. Circular motion. When you take a thread and attach any particle at its end and move this in circular motion, then a force acts towards its center. The force acting towards its center is called as centripetal force, this side. And you have also studied about Newton's third law. Every action has its equal and opposite reaction. Now, this outward force is called as centrifugal force. So, children, an instrument called as centrifuge is made based on this principle. How does it works? Inside the centrifuge, a motor is present at the bottom, and over that motor, a rotor is present. In that rotor, few spokes are present, and in that spokes, we attach the centrifuge tube, this one. After adding the components in the centrifuge tube. Now, as we add the components and put the centrifuge tube on all the four compartments, and we switch on the instrument and we set the rotations. It can be 1500 rotations per minute, it can be 1000, it can be 15,000 rotations per minute, depending on the type. So, after rotating, it separates the particle on the basis of their mass, on the basis of their density, and we get the result in the form of bands. Means particles get separated on the basis of their sedimentation coefficient. Faster the sedimentation coefficient, higher the sedimentation coefficient, higher will be the number it will get. Suppose we are talking about 70S ribosomes. This means that 70S in comparison to 80S was slow in sedimentation, and 80S was faster in sedimenting in the centrifugal tube. This was about the S. Similarly, you can also think about the two subunits of 70S like 50S and 30S. They might also get sedimentated in the centrifuge on the basis of their mass and density. So, children, this was about the structure of ribosomes. Now, coming to the function of ribosomes. Ribosomes are membrane-less cell organelles present in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Along with that, its function is protein synthesis. This means they synthesize the protein. And ribosomes are made up of RNA as well as proteins. Children, here I am going to tell you that of what proteins are made up of. The unit of protein is amino acids. This means when variety of amino acids combine together to form a chain, that chain is called as polypeptide chain. Polypeptide. After the formation of polypeptide chain, this chain wound around itself or around any metal ions or any other cofactors or coenzymes to attain a specific structure. That structure is called as proteins. Remember, if protein loses its structure, it will no more be functional. This was all about proteins. So children, in this video I have explained you about ribosomes, their location, their structure, their function. Also you have studied about Swedberg constant, or we can say sedimentation coefficient, and also you have studied a brief account of proteins. Thank you. That's all about ribosomes. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. That's all. Thank you.